Greetings, everyone. How are you doing? Happy Saturday. I am the Moon Mama, and I am here today to talk about our Nodal Masterclass. Hey, baby. Today is the moon is in Aries today, for today, tomorrow, and some of Monday. Um, the sun is still in Pisces, and we are just coming out of um, a new moon that happened a couple of days ago in Pisces. So the Pisces energy, where the sun is in Pisces, is this opportunity where endings are occurring. And many of us are still in the experience. And I don't want to say like, because we're all still in the experience, but here's what I'm saying. We are crossing from one age into the next. And that crossing requires some responsibility on our part to do the work of healing our old ways of being and stepping into a new way of being. And you there is an intention, a deliberate awareness, a focus on who you're becoming, and a release into who you are, a release of what you're letting go of. So for me personally, right now, I'll say what it looks like for me. I am being very deliberate to challenge my perspective on things. God, my cat just snagged my outfit. To challenge my perspective, to challenge the way I narrate my relationship to the world. Just a small example is, say for instance, if I see a white person and maybe they are not really friendly, my mind might say, oh, that's a white person. They're not friendly. They're racist. And I am encouraging myself to let go of those narratives, to just see things for what they actually are and to not create a story around it. And this is a something that for me, for many of us, these are ancestral patterns because we grew up in families where we were listening to, like if you watch some of these little kids now, their videos or these children, you can tell that they are repeating things that they hear, that they don't necessarily have experience, ouch, of a thing, but because they have heard it somewhere, they are repeating it. Well, that voice that you hear as a child stays in your head into adulthood until you actually ask, who is speaking? Whose voice is that? Is that my grandmother? Is that my father? Is that, is that true, right? And the work is so that you can begin to free yourself from old mindsets and perspectives, because everything here is mental. Everything here is mind, meaning that everything comes out of someone's thoughts. So every experience that you are having has come out of your mind. Now, the question is, whose voice is in your mind? Is it your voice? Is it the voice of the divine aspect of you? Is it the voice of your child? Is it the voice of your mother? Like, whose voice is in your head? Who has programmed your reality? It's such a really interesting thing because studying the astrology and the cosmology has really helped me understand that reality is a blank page. It is completely blank. But because of the time that we're born in, we have been born into someone else's narrative. That's what the United States of America is. That's what the Western world basically is. It's been it's been modeled, it's been configured, it's been constructed out of a white man's mind. And what that looks like is capitalism and these medical systems and all these made up things that are not really real. It's so interesting. This morning I was remembering a few years ago um, I found a lump, a cyst in my breast, and I didn't do anything about it for a while because I didn't feel like it. But every time I would go get a mammogram, they were like, "Oh my God, this is so awful. What are you doing?" And I was like, "What's the point?" And then one of the doctors who I was working with like called me and he was like, "If you were my mother or daughter, I would insist that you get this surgery because this is so dangerous, especially for Black women. And I I just waited, and I mean they were really not happy with me. And so finally, when I decided to do something about it, which was maybe a couple of years later, I requested a new doctor. I was like, I don't want that old doctor I had. I want the woman doctor. And this was at Kaiser. So I got a new doctor, and the woman had read my records, and she was like, "You didn't." Basically, she was like, "You didn't listen to my partner, the other doctor, whatever those names are for people who work in the same space with you. You didn't take his advice." And so she was still in the same narrative and story about that. And so I had the cyst removed, but I kept asking questions like why and what. And finally, a nurse pulled me aside and she said, like, whispered, like when everyone was out of the office, she said, "All you need is um, iodine." That's what they're not telling you. They're not telling you that people who are dealing with, you know, things with their lymph and their breast and their ovaries is because we have an iodine shortage in our bodies. And it causes these lumps, it causes these things to occur. But after that, I was like, this is how fake this industry is. That they're giving me all this. You need surgery, you need radiation, you need to take these medicines. None of it. And when I went to a holistic doctor and started taking the iodine, never had the problem again. This is the false reality that we live in. It's all geared towards feeding the monster, feeding the beast of capitalism. And they're doing it around our health, they're doing it in our education, they're doing it in the government, they're doing it in religion. Everything is geared towards exhausting your energy with false problems to keep you distracted, trapped, not aware of who you are, what you're capable of. And guess what? That's just a part of the game. It's not even about making that be wrong. It's just about noticing that you have a choice. You have a choice. You can either play that game, which is about extracting your resource, whether that be your energy, your money, your time, your peace, extracting it and taking it for their own, or you're going to find a way to access these things on your own. And what we have to do is access a new identity, because most of us, we are under a spell. We are under the spell of what we can see with our eyes. This reality is a construct. It is a hologram, and we are projecting someone else's narratives that say you can't heal your body. You need a doctor to heal your body. You can't access the divine. You need a minister to access the divine. You can't understand your education and who you are. You need teachers and people to teach you. And all of it is geared towards the Western mindset, the white man's mind that's keeping us out of our own internal world. That's it. That's the only thing that's going on here. And so you get to ask yourself today, with the moon in Aries for the next couple of days, it's a true identity question. Who am I? Who am I really? Before I had a mother, before I had a father, my teacher, when I used to teach, when Dr. Michael Beckwith was my teacher, he's still my teacher in many ways, but he would say, who were you before your mother? Who were you before your father? Because you are energy and you existed. You existed before you were in this identity. You had a presence, a energy. You were something else, right? Before you took on, oh, I'm black, oh, I'm a woman, and it means this in this context. It means I got to struggle. It means this is hard. It means, who were you before all of that? Before all of that. And this is not, see, this is the thing that is challenging for us, is that we are so rational. We need logic, and that is not how we're going to get into a new way of being. You won't get there from logic and rationale. You get there from feelings, because logic is mental, rationale is mental, and all of those things are what created these constructs. So you can't think your way out of this stuff. You cannot. It doesn't work. That's why I'm here every day talking about the rituals and the practices, and um, the rituals and the practices, and really understanding how to relate to yourself so that you can become who you were before you put on this fake mask. You want to get back to who you were before the mask, and that's what we're doing. um you trying to say Ashe? Trina. Uh, that's funny. Us as us. um so the moon will conjunct Venus today, and this is about loving yourself. So what we do is we start right where we are with intention. We don't try to be somewhere far away. We don't try to drop everything at once, because that's not how it works. Like, what I have discovered is that it takes time. And I don't think that it takes everyone the same amount of time to free themselves and to ascend, but it takes time. It takes consistency, it takes awareness, and it takes a willingness to challenge your old ways of being, your old mindset, your old constructs. And that it just takes what it takes. So on a day like today with the moon in Pisces, like I said, you guys work with your feet. Go look up videos here on Instagram on how to work with your feet, to the feet meridians, to heal the energy in your body, and working with that ancestral power, to work with water, because Pisces is the water. So I'm going to spend the day resting. The moon will also conjunct Venus and Saturn today. And I have just been really deconstructing a lot. And so I'm very, I want to say I'm exhausted. Like, I feel really tired. And that's a part of the process. That's a part of the work. The energy will come back, because it always does. And so I'm going to just rest and give myself the energy I need. Sit here with my little kitty, my aunt. Come turn around and say hello. Ouch. Take your claws out of me. Shoot. Say hello. Say hello. There you go. You want to say hello? She's such a sweetie. These little cats are just the sweetest little babies. Literally, they have done so much to help me with my intuition. Watching them has really supported me in learning how to access my own feline codes, which is feminine energy. It's internal. They are intuitive and psychic, and they see what's not there. And that's why my sight, my ability to see with my first eye, has gotten strong, because now I can see the true reality beyond the one that we have been conditioned into. I can see the cosmic reality beyond the one that we have been given as real. And that's why I can come here and talk about what's needed, because I can perceive the energy. I can perceive the energy behind the current experience. And the energy is telling me that this old reality is on its last breath. It's not even on its last leg. It's on its last breath. Like, if you guys, didn't watch what's going on in the government with Trump and the guy from that other country, like, this is all made up stuff. This is all fake stuff. And they've been faking for years, right? And why do they? I always ask, why do they do it? And really, the answer why is because of Black people. That's really Black Americans. All this whole illusion, smoke and mirrors, has been created to keep Black people trapped out of their true power, because we are the ones that have enormous power. And if you don't believe that we have enormous power, how is it that we could endure the levels of torture and trauma that we have endured for 400 years if we were not extraordinarily powerful. And this illusion has just been to drain our energy, keep us trapped, keep us seeking outside of ourselves, keep us looking out there for something rather than going inside. And what I'm saying is go inside. Go inside. You will find everything you need there and more. And the north nodes and the south node are the energies that show you where the opening is currently in the cosmos, where the opening currently is in the cosmos to allow you to enter your own psyche. I mean, it's just so beautiful. It's so beautiful when you understand what's really happening. It's so beautiful. So go inside of yourself. Ask questions. Who am I? What am I feeling? What do I need? What's occurring for me right now? Where do I come from? Where am I from? Yes, we are true avatars. Absolutely. We are. We are. And we are here in the earth realm, but we not from here. We're not from the earth realm, but we have been here for a long time, trapped in this illusion. We have been here trapped in the illusion. The illusion wasn't always here. We were here without the illusion. And then something else occurred. The dark ages really set in. And, like the pyramids the pyramids all over the world were built to help hold the energy of the planet up as it went into the dark ages. The dark ages is a natural phenomena on this plane. It's natural. And what it means is that humans don't have access to as much light. They don't have access to as much consciousness. Yes. So we don't perceive the hidden reality that is there. So all we can really see is these 3D structures. But there is a hidden, invisible reality right at the tip of your nose, right here. And because we have been distracted from going within, all of our avatar energy is just fueling this fake reality. It's just fueling all the fake stuff. So what we want to do is get our power back. You just want to start saying, do I want to give my power to this? Does this benefit me? How will this benefit me? How is this serving me? Every experience you're having, you ask, how is this serving me? Every single one. How is this food serving me? How's this relationship serving me? How's this water serving me? How's this everything? Because when you ask these questions, it has to configure itself. Whatever experience you're having, when you ask, how is it serving me, will have to configure itself to become service to you. That is how powerful your command is. When you say, how is this serving me? The universe will coagulate it to make it serve you because that is your power is so phenomenal. Cat hair. Your power is so phenomenal that your question will reorganize the reality. If you look at that book, the work of Dr. Emoto, who talked about speaking to water and how water is a living consciousness, and when you speak to it, it literally reforms itself. The same is true for the air and the wind and the earth and all of that. All of it is doing that. So when you ask, how is this serving me? The consciousness in and around you will make everything that you want to know how, it will make it serve you. It will bend it into your experience, especially for women, because we are the wielders of reality. All right, you all. Peace and blessings. If you need any support, you can reach out at my website, healwithmoonmama.com, to book your coaching packages and your coaching sessions and your natal chart readings. It is my pleasure to be of service to you. All right, you all. Peace and blessings. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye. Ouch. Ah! God, that hurts. Ouch.